Discover the incredible journey. Homeless boy's heartwarming game transforms millionaire's life. In the heart of a bustling Midwestern city, 10-year-old Jamal lived a life most couldn't imagine. Each night, he tucked himself into a corner of the crowded shelter, his thin blanket wrapped tightly around him, a feeble defense against the chilling winds that howled outside. But when the sun rose, so did Jamal, ready to escape into the vibrant world of gaming at the community center. The moment his fingers gripped the controller, he felt a spark of hope ignite within him. Victory after victory, he soared through fantastical landscapes, becoming a hero in games where he could control his fate, something he craved in real life. In the community center, laughter bounced off the walls, a warm contrast to the cold streets outside. Jamal thrived in this sanctuary, a place where no one judged him by his tattered clothes or tired eyes. "You've got skills, kid." The older gamers would shout, and Jamal would beam, a smile stretching across his face, filling him with a sense of belonging, even if just for a moment. The games were his escape, but deep down, he dreamed of becoming a professional gamer, to show the world that he was more than just a boy without a home. Meanwhile, Mason, a reclusive millionaire with once celebrated prowess in the tech world, walked the streets with haunted eyes. After losing his daughter in a tragic accident, he withdrew into his vast mansion, a prisoner of grief and regret. Seeking a fleeting connection to the world outside, he ventured out one day and stumbled upon Jamal, expertly maneuvering his way through a racing game. Mason was captivated. How could someone so young bring so much energy to a screen? It was like watching life burst forth from a bleak canvas. Their gazes locked, and in that moment, something shifted. Laughing at Jamal's fierce concentration and skill, Mason felt a flicker of purpose ignite in his own battered heart. The boy's spirit mirrored the dreams Mason had long buried, tucked away in the corners of his past. Together, they began an extraordinary friendship that opened doors Mason had thought locked forever. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Excitedly, they decided to enter a charity gaming tournament aimed at raising funds for homeless youth, a chance to raise Jamal's platform, but also for Mason to finally do something meaningful. As the tournament approached, however, Mason found himself besieged by whispers of his past. The shadows of judgment began to cloud their blossoming friendship, stirring doubt in Jamal's heart. Could they really navigate such turbulent waters together? With whispers following them, Jamal pushed against the weight of society's prejudice, while Mason fought the demons of his affluent life. They stood on the edge of something monumental, standing together, but could they really transform each other's lives? As the tournament loomed, their futures intertwining, the stakes grew higher, and everything they built began to tremble like a fragile tower made of cards ready to collapse with just one wrong move. The day of the tournament arrived, the community center buzzing with excitement and nerves. Colorful banners hung from the walls, announcing the event like a celebration. Jamal's heart raced, matching the rhythmic beat of his footsteps as he made his way through the crowd. He glanced around, seeing familiar faces that had cheered him on before. Today felt different. A mix of anticipation and dread stirred inside him. Mason stood nearby, watching Jamal, his heart swelling with pride. The boy was more than just a gamer at this moment, he was a beacon of hope, someone who had the potential to inspire others. Mason took a deep breath, hoping to shield him from the whispers that hung in the air like thick, suffocating fog. Just then, Jamal turned to Mason, eyes wide with determination. "I can do this, right?" Jamal's voice shook slightly, like the fragile confidence he was trying to build. "Of course you can," Mason replied, offering a smile that he hoped carried enough warmth to melt away any lingering doubt. "Remember, it's not just one game, it's about all of us together." As they approached their gaming station, the energy of the crowd intensified. Jamal's fingers brushed against the controller, and everything else faded away. The noise blurred, the faces became a distant memory, and it was just him and the game. The countdown began, and he focused. He poured every ounce of his heart into that moment. Each move felt fluid, like he was dancing through the vibrant world on the screen. But the whispers had grown louder, echoing in the corners of his mind. "Look at that kid. He shouldn't be here." Jamal could feel the weight of those words pressing down on him, almost making him falter. Panic threatened to creep in like a shadow, but he fought it. Mason's encouraging words flashed through his mind, reminding him of his purpose. This was about proving that even those with nothing could achieve something great. As the competition intensified, he and Mason worked seamlessly together, a true partnership growing in their shared quest. Each victory brought cheers from the onlookers, swelling Jamal's spirits. He felt powerful, like he could conquer everything, but just as quickly, that fleeting confidence could turn into doubt. Mason watched closely, his heart aching whenever he saw Jamal's expression shift from joy to fear. Then came the semifinals. They faced a team known for their skill and ruthless competitiveness. Jamal's heart raced as they began to play. The stakes felt higher, and with every missed opportunity, the murmurs returned. Jamal winced when he made a mistake, feeling like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. He looked over at Mason, who remained calm, a steady anchor in a turbulent sea. "Just breathe, buddy. You've got this," he shouted, and the conviction in his voice rekindled that spark in Jamal. With renewed focus, Jamal poured his heart into the game. Each click of the controller felt more than just a movement, it was a testament to his determination, to every hardship he faced. They fumbled here and there, but somehow, they pulled off a comeback. With one last final move, he aimed, and for that brief moment, time stood still. The pixels on the screen burst into an explosion of color, and the crowd erupted into cheers. Jamal's heart soared. But just as the thrill set in, Jamal turned to see the faces in the crowd. Some were beaming, while others had uncertainty etched across them. A knot of confusion gripped him. Mason noticed the shift in Jamal's expression, the joy mingling with doubt. "Jamal," Mason said softly, "this is just the beginning, right? It's okay to feel uncertain. You know who you are, and that's what matters." Those words echoed in Jamal's mind, yet lingering questions remained. Did their victory really mean something beyond this tournament? As they took the stage for the trophy presentation, Jamal's heart was heavy with uncertainty, but hope flickered within him. In the midst of the applause, an unforeseen figure emerged from the crowd, someone Jamal never expected to see. "Hey, kid. We need to talk." The voice was familiar, yet complicated. Jamal's heart dropped. Who was it? What could this person possibly want? The moment of truth hung in the air, thick with unspoken emotions and unresolved feelings. Jamal's eyes widened as he recognized the voice. It was his older brother, Amir. The weight of surprise hit him like a wave crashing against the shore. Jamal hadn't seen Amir in years. Their childhood memories flickered back, moments filled with laughter and warmth, but also with shadows of struggles they had faced as a family. "Amir?" Jamal's voice broke the silence that had suddenly enveloped the vibrant atmosphere. "What are you doing here?" Amir stepped forward, weaving through the crowd, his expression a mixture of concern and something else that Jamal couldn't quite place. He looked older, worn down by life's trials, yet there was a fire in his eyes. "I heard about the tournament and I wanted to see you play," he said, an underlying urgency threading through his words. "What do you mean?" "You didn't even care before," Jamal replied, an edge of bitterness creeping in. They hadn't spoken since Amir left home, abandoning them during a chaotic chapter filled with uncertainty. "Things have changed, Jamal," Amir said, his voice firm. "I've been trying to get it together. I mess up, but I'm here now. Can we talk?" The excited cheers of the crowd blurred into a distant echo as Jamal's heart thudded in his chest. This was not how he envisioned the moment after the tournament. He had just won, yet here was Amir, dragging along a bag of complicated feelings just as heavy as the trophy gleaming behind him. Maybe later, Jamal mumbled, glancing away, unsure of how to process this sudden intrusion. All his hard-earned elation felt threatened by unresolved anger and confusion. He could see Mason watching him, eyebrows raised in concern. "Jamal, please." Amir's voice softened, and he stepped closer. "I'm sorry for everything. I messed up back then. I know I can't change the past, but I want to be part of your life again." Jamal felt a lump rise in his throat. Was it really possible for things to change? Years of hurt were etched into the time they lost together, and the memories of bitterness coiled like a vine around his heart. Yet, he couldn't dismiss the longing for connection that still lingered. "Your boy, sitting up here winning trophies. You should be proud," Amir continued, his voice edged with emotion. "But you're more than just a game. I want to know you, to support you, like we used to." Jamal opened his mouth to respond but hesitated. He felt pulled between the joy of today's victory and the pain that Amir's plea stirred within him. Would he give Amir another chance to hurt him, or realize that both of them had been lost in their own struggles? "Okay," he finally whispered, wondering how this single word could open so many possibilities. Mason watched as understanding washed over Jamal's face, seeing his friend grapple with such conflicting feelings. In a space filled with victory, Jamal stood at a crossroads. Amir smiled, perhaps sensing the shift, and shared in the moment as the crowd began to dissolve back into the day, unaware of the heavy conversation within their small circle. "Before we go," Amir said, glancing around, "how about we celebrate this victory together, just the three of us?" Jamal looked from Amir to Mason, searching for the right words, the right feelings to embrace again. Hope flickered in him, more tenuous but alive. "Yeah," Jamal said slowly, determination rising. "Let us do that." As he turned, he felt lighter, like a balloon ready for flight. But a lingering question simmered in the back of his mind: what if the past could never truly be overcome? Could today be a new beginning, or would remnants of hurt claw back into their lives, tethering them to shadows they'd rather forget? With those thoughts, everything shifted, and Jamal's heart raced again, not just from the excitement of the tournament, but from the quiet uncertainty of what tomorrow might bring. As they stepped away from the crowd, the vibrant energy of the tournament slowly fading into background noise, Jamal felt an uncomfortable tension in the air around him. Amir walked beside him, and Mason trailed closely behind, his presence a comforting reminder that not all familiar faces were steeped in complexity. "So, where do you want to celebrate?" Mason asked, breaking the awkward silence that hung between them like an uninvited guest. Let us just grab some food," Jamal suggested, unsure where to direct the burgeoning emotions swirling inside him. "Maybe that taco truck down the street?" "Sounds good to me," Amir exclaimed, his enthusiasm breaking through Jamal's hesitance. The small spark of joy he saw on Amir's face was bittersweet. It reminded him of all the times they had shared simple moments like this before life seemed to pile up like fog, obscuring their path forward. As they walked, Amir chatted about the tournament, rallying enthusiasm. Jamal was surprised at how easy it felt to slip back into a sort of banter. It was almost like old times, but there remained an invisible wall, one that was slowly being etched away with each laugh and every shared story. "You really played well today, little bro," Amir said, throwing an encouraging punch to Jamal's shoulder. "I always knew you had it in you." His heart swelled with pride at the compliment, but that pride was quickly mingled with doubt. Would Amir really stick around this time? Could he trust him again? Were the scars of their past large enough to overshadow the hope of their future? As they reached the taco truck, the smell of grilled meat enveloped them, drawing Jamal further into the moment. They ordered 3 tacos, piled high with toppings, and stood off to the side as they waited. "So, how's life been treating you?" Amir asked, his tone sincere as they took their tacos and found a nearby bench. Jamal hesitated. "It's been fine, mostly." He looked down, avoiding Amir's eyes. "You know, school, practice, the usual." Amir nodded, chewing thoughtfully. "I get it. But I want to know more than just the surface. I want to be there for you." "Why now, Amir?" Jamal said, his voice rising with sudden intensity. "Why show up after all this time? You left us. You were supposed to be." I know, Amir interrupted, holding up a hand. "I messed up, I did a lot wrong. But I'm trying to make it right, Jamal. I've spent so long wishing I could head back and change things." His voice trailed off, heavy with regret. Jamal's heart softened slightly, and yet a chill washed over him. This was the raw honesty he'd been longing for, but was it too late? "I just don't want to get hurt again, Amir," he whispered, vulnerability creeping into his words. "It's hard to trust." "I understand," Amir replied, his gaze steady. "But I need you to know I'm willing to fight for this. For you." At that moment, Jamal looked into Amir's eyes, searching for sincerity. They were haunted but determined, mirroring a flicker of hope within his own heart. It felt like a standstill, everything leaning perilously close to the edge. "Okay," he finally said, accepting the embrace of vulnerability. "Let us give it a chance." The words hung between them, laden with unspoken promises. It was a small step, but it felt monumental. As they finished their tacos, a profound silence enveloped the three of them. Mason caught Jamal's eye, offering a supportive smile as he tapped his watch. "Time to get back? You still have that celebration cake waiting." Jamal nodded, his stomach filled with both food and a renewed sense of possibility. Just as they prepared to walk back towards the fun, the lingering doubts in the back of his mind clawed at him once again. What if giving Amir another shot opened doors he wasn't ready to walk through? As they set off again, Jamal couldn't shake the feeling that their journey had only just begun, teetering on the brink of a new chapter, laden with uncertainty. Would this be a celebration of healing, or would the lingering shadows return to haunt them? The neon lights of the fairground flickered overhead, casting colorful shadows as they ambled back through the lively crowd. Laughter and cheers resonated, a joyful cacophony that felt oddly distant to Jamal, still grappling with the weight of his decision. Amir walked close, casually tossing crumbs from his taco to the ground, yet Jamal could sense the palpable hope radiating from him. Mason whistled a tune, his carefree spirit providing a balm to the unsteady emotions swirling inside Jamal. An oversized teddy bear loomed ahead, the centerpiece of a ring toss game. Kids tugged at their parents, desperate for a shot at winning the prize. Jamal's heart stirred at the sight of the stuffed bear. Toy-filled memories flooded back. Amir had always been the cool older brother, ready to show him the ropes of every foolish game. "Let us try to win one," Amir suggested, quickening his pace. "I don't know," Jamal replied, hesitating. What if they lost? What if their moment was shattered like so many times before? "I'll cover for you," Amir responded, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "Just have fun. It's supposed to be a celebration, remember?" With a deep breath, Jamal found himself breaking into a smile. "All right, let us do it." They approached the booth, where a cheerful vendor handed Amir a set of colorful rings. Jamal watched as Amir took aim, a look of determination on his face. He threw the rings one by one, each time missing the bottles, laughter spilling from Mason's lips and ringing in Jamal's ears. But Amir shook it off, throwing a dramatic dance move after each miss that made Jamal laugh harder. Okay, Jamal laughed. "Dude, you're supposed to win us a bear." "Can't win them all," Amir teased, shrugging. "But at least we're having a good time. That's what matters, right?" Finally, after a few more attempts, Amir managed to land a ring around a bottle. Both boys erupted into cheers, and the vendor handed over a fluffy, giant teddy bear. Jamal's heart swelled with joy as he caught the bear, wrapping his arms around it instinctively. "A bear for my little bro," Amir proclaimed, ruffling Jamal's hair just like the old days. As they walked away, Jamal felt the warmth of the bear pressed against him, almost like a shield against his worries. Each step felt lighter, laughter flowed freely, and slowly the bond seemed to mend. Could they truly rebuild? Was this a sign of better days ahead? "See? This is how it's supposed to be," Amir said, breaking the momentary silence. "No pressure, just being us." Jamal realized how much he wanted this feeling, this connection. The lingering doubts shrank, nudged aside by youthful joy. Life was messy, but moments like this reminded him of resilience, of laughter that echoed through the hardest hours. "Thanks for fighting for this," Jamal finally said, his voice steady. "I want to make this work, Amir. I want my brother back." Amir stopped dead, his expression shifting to earnestness. "And I'm here for it, Jamal. I really am." Just as they reached the center of the fairground, filled with lights and music, Jamal caught a glimpse of something unexpected. A commotion at the edge of the crowd drew their attention, a tense voice rising above, sharp and striking, calling out Amir's name. Jamal's heartbeat quickened. The joyous atmosphere faded. Who was that? Instinctively, he grasped the teddy bear tighter. "Let us go check it out," Amir said, exchanging a knowing glance with Mason. Jamal nodded but felt a chill creep down his spine. As they moved through the crowd towards the source, uncertainty washed over him. Could this be another challenge? Would the past claw its way back into their fragile moment? He could almost hear the whispers it was not over yet. With his chest tightening, Jamal pressed forward. What awaited them at the edge of the fair? The tension in Jamal's chest surged as they maneuvered through the thick crowd. People brushed past, laughter faded, and the vibrant lights felt dimmer somehow. Amir's footsteps echoed in his ears, each heavy step a reminder that their moment of joy might be slipping away. Ahead, a cluster of people had formed, and Jamal caught snippets of agitated voices. The tone was sharp, underlined with urgency. Amir's name was being tossed around like a hot potato. Each time he heard it, Jamal's heart sank. "What is going on?" Jamal whispered, glancing up at Amir's face. Confusion and concern danced in his brother's eyes. For a heartbeat, Jamal saw the older, protective Amir he once knew, ready to shield him from whatever waited in the shadows. "I don't know, but let us find out," Amir replied, his voice steady despite the tension that crackled around them. They squeezed through the throng, Jamal holding the bear close as if it could offer him solace. The distant melodies and spattering fireworks faded completely, overshadowed by the anxious energy ahead. Suddenly, they broke through the crowd, and Jamal was hit with an unexpected sight. At the center stood a tall figure, older, stern. A man, eyes blazing with determination, gripping a phone tightly as he scanned the crowd. When he spotted Amir, his face soured into something harder, anger brewing just under the surface. "Amir! There you are," he barked, his voice sharp enough to slice through the festive air. The excitement and joy of the fairground swung to a halt around them, tension hanging thick like fog. Amir took a step back, his expression shifting into one of wariness. "What do you want?" he asked, crossing his arms defensively. Jamal's instincts kicked in. He stepped closer to Amir, the teddy bear cradled protectively against his chest, shifting his weight in an attempt to ground himself. Who was this guy? Why did he seem so intent on Amir? "I want to talk about your responsibilities," the man snapped. "You can't just bail on everything and expect it to be fine. You owe us." Jamal's breath hitched. They were entering dangerous territory. Amir, always the cool one, could break this moment or let it shatter. Memories of past arguments, harsh words, and broken promises surged. He could already feel the weight of potential fallout pressing down on his shoulders. "No," Amir stated, his voice firmer now. I'm not doing this right now. I'm here to enjoy the fair with my brother. Your brother? The man laughed coldly, a harsh sound that felt wrong in the atmosphere of joy surrounding them. What about your obligations? You can't just walk away. Jamal's heart raced. Confusion mixed with fear, and he glanced at Amir, hoping to see strength in his gaze. Instead, he saw something else, a flicker of doubt. The man's words struck hard, digging into old wounds, wounds that Jamal thought were beginning to heal. Mason, finally catching up, stood next to them, his brows knitted with concern. Hey, man, back off. He shouted, taking a protective stance. This isn't the time or place for whatever beef you have. Maybe it's best you both stay out of it, the man shot back, and Jamal clenched the stuffed bear tighter, feeling every minute pulse of his determination. Amir exhaled slowly, the fragile calm was beginning to crack. Jamal felt the tension rising, both within himself and in Amir. This moment could redefine everything. Let us go, Amir said suddenly, his tone shifting to something resolute. But the man stepped forward, blocking their path. Jamal's heart pounded in alarm. The fairground lights swirled above as he sensed this was only the beginning, a harbinger of deeper troubles ahead. Come on. Just talk to me. The man pressed, desperation hinting at a threat. And then everything went still. Jamal's chest tightened as he realized the stakes were rising. What lay ahead could tear them apart completely or bind them together through this storm. With his heart racing, Jamal took a breath. Would Amir stand strong or crumble under the demands of his past? Would they rise together, or was this the moment that history would repeat? He had no answers, only a growing sense of dread and anticipation. Jamal locked his eyes on Amir, waiting for a sign what would happen next. The man's eyes flickered between Amir and Jamal, assessing the situation. There was a moment of silence, heavy with unspoken words. Jamal could hear his heartbeat in his ears, a steady drum of anxiety that seemed to drown out the carnival sounds. The weight of the stuffed bear felt like a reminder of their childhood, a contrast to the adult drama unfolding before them. Why are you doing this? Amir said, his voice strained but steady. I'm not your puppet. I make my own choices now. Each word carried a weight of defiance, but Jamal could see the cracks forming in his brother's facade. The man scoffed, stepping closer. You think you can just leave it all behind? You have a debt to pay, Amir. You can't run away from that. His anger cracked like a whip, and Jamal felt the world close in around them. Debt? Jamal interjected, his voice rising. What are you talking about? What has Amir gotten himself into? The fear pressing down on him morphed into fierce protectiveness. He couldn't let this stranger intimidate them. Stay out of this, kid, the man snapped, his tone harsh enough to silence the surrounding crowd once more. They were all eyes on the three of them, gripping popcorn, cotton candy, and each other's arms, waiting for the next move. Jamal, Amir warned, but the desperation in his brother's voice only fueled Jamal's anger. No. You can't just threaten him like this. Jamal felt the bear slipping as his grip tightened. The soft fur that had once brought comfort now felt inadequate in the face of confrontation. We are together, and whatever it is, we'll face it together. Just leave him alone. The man faltered, the ferocity in his eyes dimming for a brief moment, but his resolve quickly returned. You don't understand what's at stake here. Amir has obligations, commitments. You think a fair, or a stuffed animal, can fix that? The crowd murmured, their concern palpable, echoing Jamal's own feelings. The sense of urgency in the air felt electric, like a gathering storm. Jamal turned to Amir, searching for any glimmer of hope, a spark that would signify they could fight this. Amir? Jamal's voice softened, almost pleading. What is going on? You can tell me. Amir's expression was a mix of conflict, vulnerability, and fear. The man's words had struck a nerve, unraveling the pieces of Amir's carefully constructed shield. It's complicated, Jamal. I didn't want you to know. Then tell me. Jamal's heart pounded harder against his ribcage, nearly dazzling him with its rhythm. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out together. The looming figure shifted slightly, but it didn't let up. You think this is just about you two? You're in over your heads. He pointed to Amir. And all because you wanted to play with your brother instead of facing your responsibilities. Amir's jaw clenched, his eyes darkened with memories and regrets. The brave front was crumbling. I thought I could just have one day, one moment without the weight of it all. Those moments come with a cost. And now you're going to pay for it, the man insisted, his tone icy and implacable. At that moment, Jamal saw it, Amir's determination wavering, the illusion of control slipping away. Rage surged in Jamal, transforming into something fierce and protective. No. We won't let that happen. Amir, you don't have to do this alone. We can fight this together, right? The crowd murmured again, some exchanging wary looks, while others seemed drawn to the brewing conflict, eyes wide with anticipation. Jamal could feel their eyes on him, sensing the collective support but also the weight of expectations. Suddenly, Amir looked at Jamal, and in that shared moment, suddenly everything shifted. There was a flicker of understanding, of unity. Okay, he whispered, the unmistakable tremor of resolve mingling with his uncertainty. Let us talk. But let it be on our terms. The tall man raised an eyebrow, clearly taken aback by the sudden shift. Your terms? He echoed, incredulous. Yes, Amir stood taller now, a hint of fire igniting in his eyes. Let us negotiate this together. You want to talk about responsibilities, then let us talk. But I won't be threatened. Jamal's heart swelled slightly. Amir was rising to the challenge. But a deep fear crept back in. What would be asked of them? What could they potentially lose? As they stepped toward the man, the atmosphere shifted again. The weight of the unknown loomed larger. Jamal closed his eyes for a brief moment, hoping desperately that they could face whatever storm was brewing together without being swept away. What kind of storm had they just entered? Would they emerge unbroken, or would this moment tear them apart? The answers were yet to come, and only time would tell what awaited them. The man took a step back, his expression shifting. Maybe he wasn't prepared for the fire in Amir's eyes. Jamal dared to breathe a little easier, but tension still hummed in the air like a tight wire ready to snap. The crowd was alive with whispers, each person waiting, hoping for a resolution. Your terms? The man said again, but this time his voice held less bravado. You think you can just dictate how this goes? You don't know what you're dealing with. Amir kept his gaze steady, a slight tremble still in his voice. Tell us what it is. I have responsibilities, yes, but I won't let you bully me into submission. Not anymore. The man laughed, but it was hollow. You think this is about me forcing you to do anything? This is about consequences, Amir. People get hurt when debts aren't paid. The crowd shifted, unease rippling through them. Jamal's heart raced as he gripped the stuffed bear tighter, feeling its soft seams dig into his palm. Each word thrown around felt dangerous, as if they could ensnare Amir further into whatever trouble he had found himself in. What do you mean hurt? Jamal's voice broke through the tension, startling the people around him. What are you talking about? Enough with the games, the man shot back, irritation peeling his mask away. Amir knows what's at stake. Ignorance won't help you, kid. No, Amir said, surprising both the man and Jamal with the firmness of his tone. You're wrong. I won't let my brother be pulled into this dark place because of my choices. The weight of Amir's resolve seemed to fill the space, pushing against the man and the uneasy crowd. Jamal felt a flicker of hope ignite. Amir was fighting, truly fighting. But a shadow in Amir's eyes revealed the fear he tried to hide, and Jamal knew they needed a solid plan. Then let us unveil this debt, Jamal said, stepping a little in front of Amir. Whatever it is, we can deal with it together. The man's eyes flicked back and forth, weighing them both. You really think you can handle this? It's not just money, kid. Lives are involved. Everyone was quiet now, even the sounds of the carnival seemed muted. Jamal glanced at Amir, who gave a slight nod, signaling his willingness to embrace whatever truth lay ahead. Then let us talk about it, Amir insisted, looking the man squarely in the eye. We deserve to know exactly what we're facing. With the potential for answers hanging in the air, Jamal felt the tension bend around them. Would the truth be liberating or would it drag them further into the void? The man hesitated, his tough exterior faltering just a bit. All right then, but it won't be pretty. You're stepping into a mess you can't imagine. What choice do we have? Jamal replied, determination solidifying within him. If it means protecting my brother, I'm willing to hear it. A small sigh escaped the man's lips, almost like he respected their resolve. Fine. Let us walk. But know this, once you step deeper into my world, there's no turning back. As they began to move through the crowd, the weight of every gaze felt heavier. Questions buzzed in Jamal's mind like bees. What did this world hold? Could they survive it? He glanced back at the carnival lights shimmering. It felt like a dream detached from the harsh reality they were diving into. Beneath the thrill of potential answers lay a gnawing fear, a pit in his stomach that urged caution. Jamal's hand brushed against Amir's and he squeezed tight, anchoring both their hopes in that moment. What darkness awaited them in this journey? Would they be able to protect each other amidst the chaos? With each step, the truth edged closer, revealing not only the depth of Amir's commitments but the strength of their bond. But could it withstand the storm they were heading into together? As they moved through the festival grounds, the vibrant chaos of the carnival began to fade into a distant hum. The lights that had sparkled with promise now felt like they were dimming behind a curtain of anxiety. Jamal could feel Amir's determination, but he could also sense the cracks forming in his brother's armor. Just stick close, Amir whispered, his voice low, yet firm. Jamal nodded, though a sense of dread clutched at his chest. The man led them away from the carnival, through narrow alleys lined with hastily assembled stalls. Each step felt heavier, dragging them further from the laughter and joy of the fair. What's your name? Amir asked as they walked, attempting to pry back the veil of intimidation. Call me Marcus, the man replied without turning. His posture was tense, like a wind-up toy poised to spring. And you'll want to remember that, kid. It's going to make this easier. The mention of names stirred something in Jamal, as if branding their interaction with gravity. What is this all about, Marcus? Amir pressed, urgency lacing his words. In time, he said, glancing back at them with a wild spark in his eyes that sent a chill down Jamal's spine. But first, you two need to know why this matters. The debt isn't just a sum of money. It's blood. It's the lives that hang in the balance. They turned a corner, and the setting shifted. The grimy alleyway emerged into a parking lot speckled with cars strewn about, but it wasn't the vehicles that caught Jamal's eye. A group of men, their faces hidden under shadows, lounged against a wall, each one exuding menace. The tension pulsating through the air was palpable, and Jamal instinctively tightened his grip on Amir's hand. Listen carefully, Marcus continued, now stopping to face them. You're about to meet some people who don't play nice. They're here for what's owed. And for a kid like you, ignorance is not bliss. It's death. Amir's jaw tightened. Stop playing games. Who do we owe? Marcus hesitated before stepping closer. Your brother. He made promises he couldn't keep. He may have thought he could manage it, but now it's a mess. This isn't just some loan. These people require a tribute for what they've invested in him. Tribute? Jamal felt dizzy, the walls seemed to pulse as if closing in. What does that even mean? People pay debts in different ways, Marcus said, his voice dropping to a harsh whisper. Often, it's through labor, services, or simply loyalty in darker forms. Jamal's heart raced as he pieced together the implications. He glanced at Amir, his mind spinning with fear and confusion. Would they have to repay this in ways that would change who they were? Then let us settle this, Amir said, more resolute than Jamal had imagined possible. If I owe something, we'll face it together. The shadows in the parking lot shifted, and Jamal felt the weight of looming eyes. The men approached, their intentions shrouded in an atmosphere that felt heavy with threats. Not so easy, huh? One of the men said, stepping forward, towering over them. We don't just forgive debts because you want to. You want this to end? You'll have to prove you understand what you're dealing with. As fear washed over Jamal, Amir squared his shoulders, ready to confront whatever twisted path lay ahead. But Jamal's instinct to protect once again overcame him. Wait! He shouted, panic rising. What do you want from us? The men exchanged knowing glances, and for a brief moment, an eerie silence fell around them. Good question, the first man said with a smirk. Let us find out how far you're willing to go to save your brother. With every ounce of courage, Amir turned towards Jamal, but the spark in their eyes was dimming. What kind of deal were they about to enter? Could they truly walk back from this? And just then, amid the looming threat and uncertainty, a voice echoed from the shadows, a lifeline thrown into the storm, begging for their attention. Wait! They don't have to do this. Jamal squinted into the darkness, desperate for a glimmer of hope. Who was this newcomer, and could they change everything? A figure stepped into the dim light, and Jamal's breath caught in his throat. It was Alex, the kind-hearted mentor from the community center who had always believed in him. He had seen Jamal's raw potential shine in gaming, and now, here he was, confident and poised even in the face of danger. Alex? Amir's voice was a mix of disbelief and relief. What are you doing here? I heard the commotion and thought you might need some backup, Alex said, his steely gaze sweeping over the men like a calm before the storm. These guys don't scare me. You can't threaten family like that. Family? The taller man sneered. Kids and dreams don't count for much in our world. You should know that. But Alex didn't flinch. Family means protecting each other, but it also means standing up to bullies. You think you can just intimidate anyone? You've messed with the wrong people. Jamal felt a surge of hope rush through him, but fear still gnawed in the corners of his heart. Would Alex's bravery be enough to fend off those lurking threats? Listen, Alex continued, unyielding, Amir has made mistakes. He knows that. But you don't need to drag his brother into this. We're all trying to find our way just like you. You want to settle this? Let us do it the right way. Yeah. One of the men scoffed, crossing arms thick as steel. And what's the right way? You think a pep talk can get rid of debts? More like a promise, Alex said firmly, his voice low but powerful. I'll take responsibility for Amir's debts. But first, you need to hear out the kid who has been wrongly caught in all of this. The gang murmured among themselves, tension nodding in the air. Amir, is this a joke to you? The leader of the group said, narrowing his eyes. What's in it for us? Amir doesn't owe anyone his life or his brother's, Alex retorted, stepping closer to Jamal. Sometimes debts are more abstract. This isn't just about money or threats. The real cost is losing our humanity. A quiet fell over them, the air thick with a fragile hope that clung to every heartbeat. Jamal looked at Amir, who seemed a bit steadier now. I'll do whatever it takes to repay this, Amir said, his voice steady but edged with vulnerability. Just don't hurt Jamal. The gang exchanged glances again, uncertainty creeping in. All right, talk is cheap, the leader sneered, but Jamal noticed a crack in his demeanor. "I know what it's like to feel trapped, to have your life hang by a thread," Alex said, bringing both boys back into the conversation. "And I'm here to help you through that. But it has to start with connecting again. That's what brings real change." Jamal felt the moment crystallize into something profound. A wave of realization washed over him. This was about more than just games or debts, this was about reclaiming their lives and their bond as brothers. He took a step forward, clenching the teddy bear like a shield. "Jamal, no!" Amir shouted, fear sweeping through him. But Jamal held up a hand, finding his courage. "If you want to threaten us, you have to deal with me first. I'm tired of being afraid. We're stronger together, and we will fight for each other." The leader of the gang's face twisted in confusion, and something began to shift. How does a kid with nothing think he can say that? He derided, but there was an uncertainty in his tone now. "Because I'm not alone anymore," Jamal replied, locking eyes with Amir and Alex. "I know we can face whatever it is. We've made it this far. We just need to keep talking, to find a way forward. Just like we did in the tournament." The air thickened with a quiet intensity. And then Alex added, "Let us start fresh. Whatever debt exists, let us turn it into something constructive. We don't need to enter a cycle of pain." Jamal stood resolute, his heart pounding as he poured all of his hope into that single moment. The men shifted again, uneasiness palpable. "Life's hard enough," one of the henchmen finally said, glancing between all of them, eyes flickering with a hint of respect. "Maybe we don't have to keep it this way." "Exactly," Jamal exclaimed. "Life can go in so many directions. We can break this chain together." The leader took a step back, glancing once more at his men, then back at Jamal. The tension had diminished. "Fine. But remember, you play with fire, stay sharp. One wrong move and it could all blow up." Relief washed over Jamal like the first rays of dawn after a long, dark night. "Thank you," Amir whispered, disbelief lacing his words. "You stood up for me, Jamal." "And I'll always have your back," Jamal replied, letting go of the teddy bear for a moment and grabbing Amir's hand. "Because we are family." As they emerged into the soft light of the carnival again, laughter and warmth enveloped them. Jamal looked around, the eager energy returning to the atmosphere and filling him with hope. "Hey," Amir said, grinning despite everything, "let us go win another bear." "Yeah. This time, it's a family prize," Jamal exclaimed, feeling the ebbs of pain recede just a bit more. "Together." Alex joined in, laughter lifting the weight from their shoulders. As they made their way back to the games, Jamal realized that they were no longer trapped by the echoes of fear. They refocused on what mattered, the love of family, the friendships formed, and the promise of new beginnings. In that moment, he had truly come home, no matter where they played. And just like that, they walked forward, ready to embrace whatever came next, bound together by the strength of their bond. Now, if you found joy in this story and believe in the power of transformation, don't wait not even one more second. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that inspire and uplift. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help bring more heartwarming tales to life. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending. We want to hear from you. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this extraordinary journey and may find their own transformations. This is the moment to show your support, and only true fans understand the importance of lifting each other up.